Thank you for joining the November 29th, 2018 VOLTA call. Do keep in mind that we post the recordings to YouTube, so you'll need to remember that during any discussions or presentations today. And with that, we will go ahead and I think get started for today's call. Let me just check. Craig, did you get connected on the audio bridge? I think I heard you. Might be having a few audio issues.
Is that better?
It's pretty muffled. I can tell you're talking though.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. That's better. That's better.
Okay.
All right. So the first item that I had on the agenda for today was talking about the email discussion that started on VOLTA Discuss for a question that Craig had related to the work that he's doing. And let me bring that email up on support for multiple unis on an ONU. And so we were going to try and get some discussion going today. And Bjorn is unable to attend the call, but he did send in a response over email that he was fine with the proposal that Craig put forth. And then let's see if Matt is on. I'm not sure if Matt is on yet. He had added on SIBA to the discussion, and we'll see if we get some folks to respond back from that email, from that chain as well. So I've got the email up on the screen, and again, Sean is not going to be able to attend today either. So we'll see how many folks we have who can engage in discussion today, but wanted to bring it up for some brief dialogue with the group if possible. So Craig, if you don't mind, I'll go ahead and let you just recap quickly what we got on the email, and we'll see if we've got comments from anyone on the bridge today.
Sure. So this is actually still consistent with the design that I put forth to the group 2 weeks ago, but I just wanted to bring it up as a specific topic again to discuss. The naming of the ports in the in ONUS is being suggested to change with multiple unis. To be clear, we're designing it so that the default behavior of the system is consistent with what it has been in the past in a single uni per ONU. To enable multiple unis, you would have to enable a parameter in the resource profile of the resource manager to allow multiple unis. But if you do allow multiple unis, what we're going to do is name the unis in ONUS with a -x suffix. Currently, they're named by the ONU serial number. And as a result, the records that are in the status database also are reflected by that name of the uni. So what, as was discussed previously, and it works seamlessly, if you put in a -1 and -2 in the status records, it works without any changes in ONUS. But the question that is being brought to the table is, what does this do further up the stream, if anything, to SIBA and any workflows that might need to change to support a -x suffix on a service? That's kind of a little bit beyond the scope of the analysis that was done previously. So again, the default behavior when we submit this will be, there will be no suffix, and it'll be a single uni per ONU. But if you enabled the feature, what would happen further up the workflow, and if there's anything that anybody would need to take a look at.
Thanks, Craig.
I don't know if anybody has that information or.
Any comments or feedback from the group?
And the X that you choose, like the number 1, and it's just an incremental number, right? It's it can be anything. It doesn't have to be 1. Like
it's going to be an incrementing number based upon the sorted order of the unis that are discovered from the OMCI mid discovery.
Mm-hmm.
So -1, -2, -3 based upon the entity IDs of the discovered unis.
Oh, okay. So it does have to be a number, but incremental.
Yes, and it'll be a counting number, -1, -2, -3.
Okay.
Thanks, Ken and Craig. Any other questions?
Yeah, hi, Greg, this is Shad. It'll be nice to cross-post this on the SIBA mailing list, and because from what little I know of the northbound of SIBA is that a subscriber is identified by the serial number, and so now if you have multiple UNIs showing up on that ONU, I think there'll be some changes need to be made in that workflow. Right now we just have a AT&T workflow, but I don't think they're there's too big a change, and right now at least from a ONF, we work just on 1.6 branch, so these changes do not affect the SIBA demos that are happening internally over here. But it'll be nice to cross-post this on the SIBA mailing group, and I don't think that's a big change. The fact is that a subscriber is identified by the port that comes up, that in ONOS. And now that we'll have multiple ports, we'll have to associate. We'll have to have some sort of another object that identifies some other entity that identifies a subscriber and then links them to these to all of them to a single subscriber.
Yeah, thanks, Shad. I think Matt did post it to the SIBA Dev group there for some feedback. And what you're raising is the question of what is a subscriber service in this case. Is it the ONU or is it the port on the ONU? I think that goes a little bit broader in a philosophical question of what SIBA needs to support. If you have a multiple dwelling unit, maybe the subscriber is a port, so that you have an ONU that has 4 ports on it for 4 different subscribers, then those are still identifying individual subscribers at the port level.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Shad.
So, yeah, as far as what we're doing in VOLTHA, I've got, that's all functioning, and like I said, if the status record is with the suffix, it's all working. And I'm just kind of pushing this over to the people working on SIBA if there's anything that needs to be done on that side.
Yeah, so after the ONF Connect will SIBA will be moving. The ONF Connect, the ONF, we would be then transitioning over to master and merging whatever changes we have made on 1.6 onto master, and then I'm sure this will be taken up by someone. I don't work on the upper workflow level, but there's there are a couple of people in ONF, and I'm sure they'll take a look at this. Yeah, so we'll get to this, I'm sure, like Christmas or post-Christmas time. Yeah.
Sounds good. And I think the approach that we're taking, that the default is legacy behavior, will minimize the risk for us delivering it to master now before any of that work is done.
All right, other questions or feedback for Craig? And Matt, I see that you joined, so thank you for bringing this over to the SIBA board as well. So Craig, I think what I'll do is just for making sure we kind of close the loop with the SIBA group. It's posted to their Exploder list now, but I'll reach out to Zach and just make sure that he's aware of this for tracking, to make sure it doesn't get lost in the shuffle. Hopefully we'll get feedback for the Exploder. Should
we create a JIRA subtask in the SIBA JIRA task and attach it to ours?
That sounds good. Yeah, good idea. That'll get it tracked. Okay.
I'll take care of that.
Thank you. All right. Any other discussion on this topic for today? Then let me bring my draft back up here. So the next item on the agenda, I wanted to just, I think it will be a brief discussion today, but we did get that status change that was related to Volt 732. That did get merged in. So I wanted to take a look. I knew that there were several other reviews and merges that needed to happen afterwards. And so I wanted to make sure we had coverage for the reviews and +2 and see if we could identify gaps in coverage up front today and try and find owners for that for when the reviews are ready. So let me go over to, let's see, this is the particular one I was looking at. Let me go back to the JIRA issue though. Okay, so we do have a list down here. So one I think we need to make sure we get covered right now is the AAA app change. And so that was the one I had up here. We'll go back to it and Garrett in a minute, because the folks who had the +2s on it before, a couple of them are no longer working on Volta. And so I think David Bainbridge is the only one on there right now that has +2. We may want to see if there's anyone else who can take a look at this who has +2 rights also. And then Gamza, I think I saw you on the bridge. Are there other issues that we need to talk about with the group to try and make sure we can facilitate getting your changes through the system?
Can you hear my voice?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. First of all, thanks, David, for his help to merge my task. I'm so happy now. And for my other reviews, as you know, virtual OLT application and AAA application Jenkins value is -1 because of my studies change. I need to update their studies version. But if the community wants to review, then they can review because I will only change their studies version. But for example, standing flows regarding to bandwidth profile for virtual reality application will be same. So the community wants to review, they can review.
Thank you, Gamza. And for folks on the bridge today, is there anyone else who needs to be added to the review? Okay, I'm not hearing.
You can add me.
Okay.
I'm a pretty regular user of AAA app, so
Great, thanks.
I can have a look at it.
Thank you very much.
I can look at it too if you want, Julie.
Great. Okay.
Julie, also, I will add a new review for the DSP relay application because the DSP relay application also depends studies. So there will be another review. And I think I can update them tomorrow or Monday.
Great. All right. Thank you. Okay. So we'll start watching for those. And then, Gamza, if you need me to help with something in terms of trying to get additional folks assigned to take a look at things, please let me know, and we'll see what we can do. Okay.
Thank you.
Any other discussion we need to have on those items? Or I know there was some work others were doing as well that had been blocked by this issue. So I think once the remaining changes that Gamza has start to feed through the system, that will unblock some of the other work as well. So just since I know we're kind of running out of meetings for the year before the holidays for some folks and end of year shutdowns at companies for some people as well, then just keep me in the loop if you need me to help out with something, and I will do what I can. Okay, I think that's it. Any questions or comments on this before we move on? Okay, the last item I had on the agenda today, I didn't have anyone else contact me about additional items to review. So what I wanted to do briefly is revisit next Thursday whether we should hold the meeting. So we talked about going ahead and having the Thursday meeting because it would be right before the ONF Connect session. I looked at my commute for getting to the meeting, and I does not look like it would work well for me to try and host the call. So if we need to hold the meeting, I likely will need to try and find someone to cover it for me. I'll see if I can work it out, but I don't think you want me trying to host it while I'm on mass transit, so or on the commute. So let me just see if we have a sense from the group if there would be enough people who would like to have a meeting next Thursday. Usually we have the Thursday calls for technical deep dives and demos and so forth. Since we're canceling the Tuesday meeting due to ONF Connect, likely I think next Thursday would be more updates on new, like reviewing new JIRAs that have come in, and then status updates for Sprint 11. So any views from the group if this call is needed next Thursday? Let me rephrase it. Would anyone like to have the call next Thursday?
I think you can cancel it.
Okay, thank you. We'll go ahead and cancel the call and then meet the week after ONF Connect. And please utilize the VOLTHA Discuss Exploder in the meantime for tracking down issues and raising up questions and so forth. I think that's it for today. So it's a quick call, but I did want to make sure we had some brief discussion on these two items, especially since we don't have any meetings next week. So let me do just poll the group. Do you have any other items that need to be discussed with the larger group today? All right. I'm not hearing anything, so I think we'll go ahead and wrap up, have a quick call today. So thank you, everyone, and I will see many of you at ONF Connect next week. And I'll go ahead and cancel next Thursday's call on the public cord calendar as well. Thanks, everyone. I'll go ahead and close the bridge.
Okay, thanks, Julie.